Welcome to Reality Theory episode 21, Donald Trump's hip hop source for Fani Willis gang affair allegations. So, we're doing a little current events. I'm a big hip hop guy. Haven't covered too much hip hop so far on Reality Theory, but I think today's a good time to start. If hip hop's turning 50, now we might have a chance to influence a presidential election, maybe lock up a former president. Who knows? Maybe get him free. We'll see what's going on. So a lot of people probably know that Donald Trump recently made allegations about Fani Willis, who is the DA in Fulton County, Georgia, who's indicting him for trying to, I guess, steal the election or whatever with RICO charges. And Donald Trump came at her even before she had a chance to drop the indictment, saying that she had an affair with a well-known gang member, which has, obviously caused a lot of speculation and gossip about who this gang leader is and who Donald Trump's source is. So let's start off. Let's look at Donald Trump and his relationship with Fani Willis, the hip hop community, who could be his source, and how he would know about her possibly having an affair. Okay. So right there, we got Donald J. Trump, and right there we have Fani Willis. Donald Trump is a very, hip hop guy for all the good and bad reasons. A lot of the bad reasons are very boisterous, very materialistic, misogynist. I don't know about violent, but he definitely threatens violence. And then we have Fani Willis. She is the daughter of a Black Panther. She graduated from Howard University, got her law degree from Emory University, and then served most of her career as an assistant DA before going to private practice. And then she ran for DA, which is interesting because it's a political position rather than a legal position. So you need to run as a Democrat or a Republican. And I think that's kind of problematic because it, politicizes these things in these cases. So a lot of people thought that when Donald Trump said that Fani Willis had an affair with a gang leader, that it was YSL Mondo. Now, YSL Mondo is the co-founder of YSL, which is allegedly a gang, but it's mostly a record label. It's rapper Young Thug's record label, and his co-founder for the record label movement, whatever, actually had Fani Willis for a lawyer in 2018. Now, she was an assistant DA for most of her career, starting 2001 to 2018, when she started her own private practice. And while she did her own private practice, she took on a client, YSL Mondo. I think she helped get rid of some gun charges for him. And she even let him bring his baby into court to kind of thing. So, and now Fani Willis has a RICO on YSL, which is Young Thug's alleged gang and his record label. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So I actually have been following this kind of YSL trial. And even before the trial, there was a big street beef between YSL and YFN, which is Young Fly N-word gang. And YSL is Young Slime Life, Young Stoner Life. There's a lot of different terms. Now, YFN is connected to the Inglewood Bloods from California, and YSL is connected to the Sex Money Murder Bloods from New York City. They used to be close together, but there's a real big beef that is happening in Atlanta and the prison systems between YFN and YSL. Now, a lot of people thought that DJ Akademics had to be the source for Donald Trump's allegations that Fani Willis was having an affair with an alleged gang member or a sexual relationship with an alleged gang member. She might not have been married. I don't think that's actually true. DJ Akademics has said that it is not true. He doesn't think Donald Trump watches his stream. He hasn't had any contact with the Trump campaign. But I think there's a much more obvious source where Donald Trump is getting his information for, right or wrong, on Fani Willis. So the person that she was alleged to have an affair, according to DJ Akademics, wasn't YSL Mondo. A lot of people thought that because she was YSL Mondo's lawyer, when Donald Trump said that she was having an affair with a gang member, everyone oddly kind of jumped to the assumption that was her former client. Now, even her former client actually did an interview with DJ Akademics, and he said he had more of like an auntie, mommy vibe with his lawyer at the time, which was Fani Willis. And, he even brought his girlfriend and his baby to court with him. So and I think a lot of people are trying to disprove the allegations by saying, no, it wasn't YSL Mondo. But the allegations from DJ Akademiks is that she was having an affair with Donovan Lil Nut Thomas. Now, Donovan Lil Nut Thomas, it was the manager for YFN Lucci. Now, YFN Lucci was a rapper based in Atlanta, but also part of, and again, alleged gang, YFN. Now, YFN was beefing with YSL mostly over the murder of Lil Nut, which was allegedly because he was an informant. So if he was an informant, does that show that he might have had a relationship with the assistant DA at the time, who was Fani Willis? He died in 2015. At that same time, Fani Willis was the assistant district attorney. She wasn't district attorney yet, but she was very much involved in prosecuting gangs and other things. So DJ Akademics has said he's had 10 sources from the streets on both YSL, YFN side that Fani Willis was having a sexual relationship with Donovan Lil Nut Thomas, who was YFN's manager, and he's also what we known as in the kind of gang circles as the big homie, which also means you're kind of a gang leader. So alleged gang leader, music manager, and member of YFN who was beefing with YSL, that's Young Thug group. So YSL is currently on trial for a RICO. I believe YFN is about to get hit with the RICO. They're in jail on other charges right now, like YFN Lucci's in jail on other charges, but they're about to get hit with a RICO coming up, I believe. So that's 2 RICOs, and both of them are being headed up by Fani Willis. So here we have the gang war. That's to your left is YFN Lucci. To your right is Young Thug. Young Thug is currently on trial. It's kind of a big deal on the hip hop scene. A lot of coverage on it. One of his colleagues, Gunna, informed on him or admitted that YSL was a gang and made himself available for testimony. He's claiming he's not a snitch, and he's currently out because I think he has like one of the #1 rap hits out right now. But Young Thug is still in jail, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff like goat sacrifice that he's been charged with, and there's a good documentary by Trap Lord Ross on YSL versus YFN. I think even Young Thug's baby mother was killed. I think YFN's his own mother's house got shot up. So it's been a very, very violent beef between these two gangs. Allegedly, upwards of 30 people have been killed in this beef. So it's a very scary beef going on. And both of these guys are big gangs getting hit with RICO in Atlanta. So this is who I think the source is right here. YFN Lucci's lawyer. So YFN Lucci is beefing with Young Thug, but his lawyer at some point in time is taking a picture with Young Thug. And he says that the YSL RICO case will certainly result in a mistrial due to multiple reasons. And he did not give these multiple reasons, but I'm thinking if he is the source for Donald Trump's allegations, he knows, or he's heard the rumors, or I think he at least believes that Fani Willis had an affair with YFN Lucci's manager, which was Donovan Lil Nut Thomas. I'm not sure it was Lil Nut or Big Nut. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. It's either Lil or Big. So this is Drew Findling, and he's very, very kind of connected to the streets and street lawyers, street rappers. Here he is with rapper Jim Jones. I think Jim Jones had a case in Georgia maybe 5 years ago in which he got caught with crack and guns, and he didn't serve any time or do anything. So Drew Findling must be a pretty good lawyer, but he's all over the scene. Here he is with Gucci Mane. I think he got Gucci Mane off with the Young Jeezy stuff and Gucci Mane's wife. Here he is with 2 deceased rappers, King Von and Young Dolph. Here he is with Offset from the Migos. So he's very tied into Atlanta. He's very tied into the hip hop scene and also to the gang scene kind of by continuation. So he knows what's going on in the streets. He has sources. He was YFN Lucci's lawyer, so I'm sure he knew all about the YFN Lucci case. I'm sure he knew a lot about Donovan Thomas, the gang leader, Lil or Big Nut. I should have remembered that before I started. I think it's Donovan Big Nut Thomas. All right, so he knows all about Donovan Big Nut Thomas because he was YFN Lucci's lawyer, and YFN Lucci's manager was Donovan Big Nut Thomas. So I'm not sure. This is going back to 2015. I'm not sure how long the relationship that Drew Findling has had with YFN Lucci or Big Nut. I'm not sure if he knew him or met him, but I know he had to be privy to a lot of information regarding what's going on. So this one makes me think that he was chosen by Donald Trump, particularly because of his knowledge of the hip hop and street scene and the dirt he made happen. So he's normally I guess he does do RICO laws, but he does more like criminal RICO laws. And Donald Trump has a wide variety of lawyers he can go to. I guess the good thing about Drew Findling is he is Atlanta based. But one would think that one of the reasons he hired Drew Findling is because Drew Findling has the dirt on Fani Willis, because Drew Findling isn't a Republican. He actually donated to the Biden campaign and actually donated to Fani Willis' campaign when she was running for DA. So he's not politically allied with Trump, but he is a celebrity lawyer, and I think that the reason that Trump picked him to be his lawyer is that he has the dirt on Fani Willis. Now, Trump's running like campaign ads, you know what I mean, with Fani Willis. So if he's wrong on this and they could, prove he's wrong, he can get sued by a lot for defamation, which is bad. So then again, now we have Drew Findling with the baby, Drew Findling with Quavo. All right, so now let's get back to why I think that he is Donald Trump's source. Drew Findling, very tied in with the streets, very tied in with hip hop, very tied in with YFN Lucci, also tied in with Young Thug. All these street rappers come to him with their cases. So if anyone knows the dirt that's going on in Atlanta or hears the rumors, or I'm not sure if he's hearing the same rumors that DJ Akademiks would have, it would be Drew Findling. So Drew Findling, in my guess, is the one feeding Donald Trump the information that Fani Willis had an affair with Donovan Big Nut Thomas. So now, why does this matter? I don't think it matters too much. It could do good things, like it could lead to a mistrial for Young Thug. And now I think that Fani Willis was doing a great job as a prosecutor for Young Thug. I'm a hip hop guy. I love hip hop, but I do believe that a lot of gangs have infiltrated hip hop and are bringing violence to it. And when they use their rap lyrics, they're not really telling creative stories. They're telling the truth about their lives. Like if you find out a rapper's lying, he wasn't what he's pretending to be, he'll be like canceled out of rap culture. So it's not like, I know a lot of people say like, oh, it's just like Bob Marley singing "I Shot the Sheriff" or Johnny Cash singing about Shawty Mandarino, but you can't really tie those people to those places. Bob Marley sung about smoking weed and he smoked weed. He sung about, loving women and he really loved women. Most of the stuff Bob Marley sung about, he really did. Then he had one fictional song, "I Shot the Sheriff." Same thing with Johnny Cash. It was a fictional song, obviously fictional. But if you were to tell a rapper that his raps are all fiction, he would want to fight you, because rap is so much based on street credibilities. And I believe that a lot of hip hop is causing violence. So I believe Fani Willis was doing a good job in terms of prosecuting Young Thug. And it would be unfortunate if a previous relationship would lead to a mistrial and Young Thug would go free and you'd have all these murders. I'm not a Trump fan at all, but I do believe he had at least the right to, question the election. If you look at the Republican stranglehold on Georgia, I think, Obama lost it by 5%, then 8%. Trump won it by 5%. And so they're crediting Joe Biden's victory to like the black vote, the black people in this came out for him. I don't know if Obama, who was, there's a lot of excitement around Obama. I'm not excited about Obama anymore, but I was back then. And I noticed a lot of other people were excited. So if Obama couldn't win Georgia as the first black president, how is Joe Biden? And we all saw his rallies. We all, we don't see too much merch. And as much as I don't like Trump, and I do believe that he does have a bit of a racist fan base, I think he does also have a working class poor fan base, and there's a lot of people that try and make him out to be racist. But I think he probably is like the white racist choice, if you look at who they're voting for. I don't think they're voting for Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. I think they're probably voting for Trump. I don't think that necessarily means Trump is racist. But if you look at Georgia is like Atlanta surrounded by the Deep South, right? So And this is why I personally don't trust the media and I don't trust the government. And I do think that Donald Trump had all the right in the world to believe that he had the election stolen from him. I mean, from the Hunter Biden laptop to, the biased news, and then him going from, and I see people love Donald Trump, at least the Republicans, more than they love Mitt Romney or McCain. Yet Mitt Romney and McCain won Georgia by a lot, right? By a significant amount. Donald Trump won Georgia by a significant amount over Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton, and I don't like her either, but she had a lot of excitement going around being the possible first woman president. Joe Biden has no excitement, no one at his rallies, no one wearing his hat. Nobody was really excited about seeing the 45th old white president. Like, nobody really was, right? You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that, and this is why we have a problem when you have these kind of politically motivated Democrat and Republican attorney generals who run on political lines and get support from their political parties. I think it's definitely a political hack. I think that if I'm correct, and Donald Trump does have this kind of this blackmail knowledge or this or whatever, the stuff he could at least distract, have the case with. I think unfortunately it might lead to a mistrial, and this is what Drew Findling said. He said it's going to be a mistrial for the YSL case, and it looks like there's a lot of evidence against Young Thug. It looks like he's guilty to me of ordering murders and guns and all sorts of stuff. And this stuff is bad. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, I think if Black Lives Matter, then we need to hold people who kill Black lives, even if they are Black, accountable for killing them. And I think a lot of these gangs that Black Lives Matter and hip hop go hand in hand sometimes, but hip hop promotes all these negativity, which winds up in the death of Black lives who don't matter, right? They don't matter unless you get killed by a cop. They don't matter. So yeah, this is going to be a quick, short episode. That is my educated guess. I think it's a pretty well-educated guess that DJ Akademiks is not the source for Donald Trump's allegations that Fani Willis had an affair with the gang member. It's way more likely his lawyer, who's really tied into the Atlanta scene, Drew Findling. Again, Drew Findling was a Democratic supporter, but Donald Trump realized that he might have some dirt on the Atlanta scene, unconnected to his ability to beat the RICO. So again, I guess and it'd be interesting to see if Drew Findling fights off with Fani Willis for the YFN Lucci case, because he is YFN Lucci's lawyer, so he'll have to go up against Fani Willis again, for twice in a row for the YFN Lucci RICO case, which is going to happen because YFN turned down the plea deal. So yeah, that's it. Reality Theory. Reality Theory, episode 21. Like, subscribe. We do hip hop news sometimes. I would love to see all my people, like hip hop people like DJ Akademiks, and all my people who do all like the paperwork. I would love to see them come to my side and get into the politics, and where we get into like the assassination of JFK, MLK, because these guys are so good with their paperwork, man. These hip hop journalists, man. Like, and this is why. So I believe DJ Akademiks. I followed him cover trials. I've seen him dissect like shootouts. Like, they pay a lot of attention, a lot of focus, and they have a lot of sources. So does it matter if she had an affair? I don't think it does, but I do think the optics will make it matter for other people, and I do think it could lead to a mistrial, not for Donald Trump, but for the YSL Young Thug case, which would be unfortunate because I do believe that Young Thug and the YSL were definitely a gang causing trauma, violence, and problems in Atlanta. And I think that, we as a hip hop community need to stop promoting gang violence and realize that Black Lives Matter all the time, and that we can't promote Black people killing other Black people. We can't promote, a kind of gang lifestyle that leads to violence. And if we want to fight against mass incarceration, I think we also need to fight against stopping the violence in our own community. Because I'm totally against nonviolent drug arrests. I'm totally against nonviolent, but I think that we have to do something about violence. It's problematic in our neighborhoods, especially when innocent bystanders get killed, when you have gangs kind of influencing young people to join them, is really detrimental to the community. So that's it, man. Donald Trump versus Fani Willis. definitely is a politically motivated thing going on here. Unfortunately, I think Trump might be. I think if he's going out with ads and anything, he definitely has a legal team. So he must have some type of basis for the source. And she's telling her team like not to discuss anything. Like if don't talk about it, don't talk about it. So it might have a basis in some truth or reality that she did have an affair. And it happens, man. You know, good girls with good careers fall for bad, tough guys sometimes. So I don't know if it's true. We'll find out soon. I would love to see the defamation trial. So if it's not true, I really hope that Fani Willis sues Donald Trump for defamation and gets a lot of money from him, because that's a pretty major allegation that could really derail her career. And but on the other side, this kind of politically motivated, it's definitely a politically motivated RICO charge on Donald Trump. It shows that the Democrats are scared that he could come back and win the White House again. So they're trying to like do whatever they can to stop his momentum, even if it means putting him in jail. So that's it. Reality theory. If you see this because you're interested in hip hop, I really wish you could, check out my other videos that deal with politics and stuff like that. So Drew Findling, most likely the source, my educated guess for Donald Trump's allegations that Fani Willis had an affair with a gang member, not YSL Mondo, not YSL Mondo. She was his lawyer, and they had a mommy auntie relationship. She knew his baby and his baby mother. And YSL Mondo even did an interview with DJ Akademics, and he didn't even hint in any way that he had any type of inappropriate relationship with her. So that's it. Like, subscribe, share, and watch my old videos, man. Watch the old ones, watch the old ones. We deal with hip hop, we deal with politics, we deal with a lot of really important things, man. I wish, and if you're a hip hop journalist or a blogger and you just come up and you wind up watching my video, I wish you could apply that super paperwork knowledge. Like instead of finding out who the snitch, let's find out who killed JFK. Let's find out who killed MLK. Let's find out who was really moving weight. I know we like talking about all the rappers and the drug dealers from the 80s like Alpo, but we really need to talk about the big drug dealers like Oliver North, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and come back, man. If you like those drug stories, you like tales of crime and gangs, wait till you hear about the CIA. Come back to Reality Theory for more. Peace.